Hi everyone. In this video I am going to explain the array list from the collections framework. You know that there is at the root collection is an interface. Three interfaces will extend this collection: set, list and queue, and array list, vector, linked list implements this list interface. These are the classes in the collections framework. Today I will explain array list and the most important thing, when to override the equals method and what will happen if I don't override the equals method in the user defined class. Suppose if I create a new class employee TO and add those objects into the list, and I will explain what are the problems you will get if you don't override the equals method. Okay, I will take an example. I'm created a employee TO with two properties, name and last name, and I have a I have a constructor which takes two arguments and which initializes the values you pass to the arguments to the instance variables, and I have setter getter methods. That's it. Okay, now first I will give you just an overview, and then whenever you want to create an array list, you can declare like this also, array list like this, but you will get lot of advantages if you use the interface type. When you declare it as interface type, you can assign array list or you can assign linked list, but if you make it linked list, you can't assign now array list to the reference, because array list and linked list are not same. But if you declare it as interface, you can assign either array list or linked list. This is the main advantage. So whenever there is a chance, try to declare as a interface type. Okay, so that all the classes which implements this interface can be assigned on the right side. Okay, when you want to add an object into the list, you have to call the add method. Okay, names.add Sai, names.add Ram. Then what will happen? The Venkat will go into the first location. In array list internally uses array concept. So arrays start from, indexing starts from 0 1 2 3 like that. So when you add an object, string is an object, right? So this will be added to the 0th location. Sai will be added to the first location. Ram will be added to the second location. Now when I ask to add, suppose if I want to add an object at third position, you have to call add, and you have to provide the index where you want to add and then give the object. So the hurry will be added to the third location. Now what will happen? Suppose if I add a new object at index 2, right now what is the object at index 2? Ram is the object. If I add another object at this at this index, this 2 will become 3. Okay, 3 will be moved to 4th position, and the object you are adding, the new object, will be added in the second index. So when you use add method and provide the index, all the elements from that position and beyond will move to next position. So when you try to add a new object at this index, the object which is already there will be moved to next position, this object will move to next position, and the newly added object will be added here. So if you don't want to move all these elements and if you just want to replace, then you have to use set method instead of add method. If you say set, then the new object will be added here and the existing object will be replaced. It won't be moved to next location. That is the difference between add and set. Okay, when you want to iterate the elements in the array list, you have to first get the iterator using calling the method iterator from the array list. You have to say list.iterator. So iterator is something like this. Assume there is a pointer. Assume there is a pointer like this, okay, which is at before the 0th position. When you say has next, it will move, this pointer will move here, and since there is an object, it will return true. And when you call iterator.next, the object at the where the current pointer is there, that will be returned. So the point, when you call the has next, the pointer moved to 0th location. So the when you call next, this will be returned. When you say has next, it will move to next location. Since there is an object, it will return true. If there is no object, it will not return true. So when you call next, has next will move to pointer to the next location and returns true. And when you want the object at that location, you have to call next. That is what I am doing. Hope you understand. So if you call has next at when you are at the third index, has next will return true. So this loop will stop executing after you display the last element. And after that, if you call has next, since there is no element, has next will return true, false. If you want to find the number of elements in the list, you can call the size. When you say size, it will return the number of elements in the list. Okay, now I created I am creating 3 employee objects. First name as Shekhar, Kumar, Santosh Kumar, Sumant, Babu. Okay, I am adding them into the list. See, suppose in your project or institute, your manager might have asked to add all those persons or employees who are taking Java course. Assume that is a requirement. Okay, suppose already some guy added these 3 employees into employee list taking the Java course. But if you want, suppose I created another object but with the same employee name as Sumant and Babu. So you should not add, right? In the list you have to count only once. This employee is having the same name as this object. It should not be added to list because you have already added. But see, I have used the contains method. There is a method called contains. It will say if the object you pass it as argument is in the list or not. Okay, now I will see if it prevents. What I have done, I am trying to find if this object is already there in the list. If it is already there, I don't want to add. So only if the contains method returns false, that means if this object is not existing, I want to add. But see how many, right now there are 3 objects. If this prevents this object from adding, then it will be 3. If it doesn't prevent, there will be 4 objects. Run as Java application. So you can see that this contains method returns false even though there is an object with the name fname and lname same as the object you are passing as an argument. It still returned false because contains method uses the equals method you have defined in the your user defined class. But since you did not define the equals method, the every class extends object, right? So you will get equals method from the object class. That default implementation checks if the hash code of 2 objects are same or not. If hash codes are not same, then it will say or treat those objects as different objects. Even though those employees are having the same fname and lname, the default equals method will not return true because the default implementation checks if hash code of the objects are same or not. But you know that every object will have a distinct hash code. So when you are adding a new employee and before adding you are checking if that object is already there in the list or not using the contains method. But that contains method uses the equals method you have defined in the class. Since you did not override the equals method, the default implementation will contain the logic to check if two objects are having the same hash code or not. If two objects have the same hash code, then it will return true. If it doesn't contain, if two objects are not having the same hash code, it returns a false even though they are having the same fname and lname. So what you have to do is whenever you create a new user defined class, in this case employee TO is our own new user defined class, so you have to override the equals method such that whenever two objects have the same fname and lname it should return true. So when you override that, that equals method will be used by the contains. So when you pass an object with the name fname and lname and ask a contains method, the contains method uses the logic you defined in the equals method to find if there is any object which is already there in the list. Now we will see how to override that. Right click, source. I am using the IDE to generate the equals method. Okay, I am overriding the equals method. I am using this just to get the signature, not for anything. Okay, you have to override the equals method. Employee TO2 is equal to, you have to typecast the argument. So this will be another employee object you want to check. Okay, with this object, this employee, this will be another employee object. You want to check the fname and lname in another employee object is the same as the fname lname in this employee object. So what you have to do, typecast that to employee TO obj, and you have to write a logic like if this dot get fname dot equals ignore case of 2 dot get fname and this dot get lname dot equals ignore case of 2 dot get lname, I should return true. That means whenever two objects have the same name, same fname and same lname, I have to treat those objects as equals, else return false. So contains will use the logic you have provided in the equals method from this time to check if this object is already there in the list or not. So what will happen, this sum copy will, this contains uses the logic you defined in the equals. What it is, the logic you have added, if the fname and lname in the sum copy is equal to any of the object already in the list, it will return true. So you can see there is an object with the same fname. See, the fname and lname in the sum copy are equal as that of the employee 3. So this contains will return true and this object won't be added. So whenever you declare a new employee, we will run and see the output. Earlier this Sumant Babu, this is added in spite of there is an object with the same fname and lname. But after overriding the equals method, now the contains method uses this logic and finds that there is an object already existing in the list with the same fname and same lname. So this new object is not added because contains now returned true. Okay, so remember this contains uses the logic in the user defined class, but if you don't override the equals method, the equals method default equals method from the object checks if the hash code of the object are same or not. Okay, so every object will have the different hash code, so it will never, so contains will never return true because this hash code will be different with this hash code. Okay, now you can declare list linked list is equal to a new linked list. Okay, linked list dot add of Chandra, linked list dot add Surendra. See, the advantage of linked list is whenever you want to add or insert elements, whenever you want to insert or remove elements from list frequently, use linked list. If you want to find the elements in faster manner, then use array list. See, when in interviews they may ask when to use the linked list and when to use array list. If you want to get or iterate the elements quickly, go for array list. But if you want to add or remove the elements from the list, you have to use the linked list, because in linked list if you want to add an element into the list, just we need to update the links. That means first in the linked list the first object will contain the data and it contains the link to second node, and the second object will contain data and it will contains a link to third object. So if you want to add an object to the at the second position, okay, simply updating the links. But in the array list if you want to add an element into the middle of the list, then all the elements from that position and beyond that position has to be shifted one location right. So it involves a lot of effort, means it takes a lot of time. But in linked list you have to just update the links. That means if you want to add an element at the fourth position, the third element will point to the new object and the new object will point to the fifth object, and that's it. There is no need to move all the elements at the fourth location and beyond those location to another location. There is no need to shift, but in array list we have to shift the elements. That is why array list is slower when you want to insert or remove the elements. If you remove the element in the array list, suppose if you remove suppose there are elements 10,000 elements. If you want to remove the element at the 10th position, all the elements beyond the 10th position need to be moved one step left. So it involves lot of effort, means it will take much CPU time, so the program will be slower. If you want to remove an element from the linked list which contains a 10,000 objects, if you want to remove from 10th location, so simply 9th object will point to 11th object instead of 10th object. That's it, no need to move anything. So linked list is faster. Linked list will have a methods like system.out.println. You can get print directly the last element. Get, see, when you say linked list, there will be methods like get last, so it will print the last element in the linked list. You can see Okay, Surendra. This is the, you can call get first also. Okay, so basically when you want to add or remove elements, then go for linked list, and when you want fast iteration, use array list. Okay, and vector, if you want to know the difference between vector and linked list, sorry, array list is not synchronized, means if multiple threads are using the your array list, then multi-threading issues will occur. But if you use vector, since all the methods are synchronized, the threading issues won't come if you use vector. But vector is the old collection and array list is the new collection defined. Okay, so you can make the array list also thread safe by calling collections.synchronized list, but I am not going to cover that topic. My major focus is to explain the equals method, and what if you don't override the equals method. You can see when you don't override the equals method, contains could not return um, true even if there is an object with the same fname and lname. Hope you understand. Thank you.